dearly dears, and welcome! This week we're talking about how your art can give you voice and courage. So first I want to introduce you to this amazing artist. Let me introduce you to Maty Baiyenda. Maty Baiyenda is a Parisian artist, an artist from Paris, France, who has a very unique style. You'll see a mix of African tribal style as well as French post-impressionism, meaning we're not looking for exactly a photograph here. More of an impression of a person than if it were taken by a camera. In most of Maty's works, you'll see the blurring of lines of gender, if you will. Well, traditional gender. In this photo, you'll see that the mask-presenting person is wearing a dress and red shoes, and the femme-presenting person is wearing pants and a button-down shirt. Here you'll see that the main subject, another mask-presenting person, has blush and eyeshadow, and while we can't actually know their gender without them telling us, it really shows that they play between the lines of gender. Looking at these, you can see that Maty's not afraid to question what is supposed to be and what is acceptable in society, which, honestly, is really courageous, and something that a lot of us aren't really comfortable doing in day-to-day life. But sometimes courage comes from unexpected places. In 2019, Vogue did an article about Maty Baiyenda and how they take inspiration from their own artwork. Does this eyeshadow look familiar to you? Yep, take a close look. Maty says in the article that they took inspiration from their own art because wearing makeup isn't generally seen as masculine, but after drawing it so many times, they felt more confidence in doing it themselves. In a sense, they were able to be themselves through their art before in reality. And this got me thinking about myself. Was there a time that my art gave me confidence to show the world how I wanted them to see me, or how I saw myself? Spoiler alert, the answer is yes. Now, I've been on the cast for something called Human Combat Chess. This was a stage combat production where we got to play a game of chess as if each piece was a person, and we got to come up with our own characters. Meet Zale Amarayan, my personal OC, if you will. Zale is basically the question of what would it look like if I had a lot of confidence. I played Zale 3 different times on 3 different teams, and honestly, she kicks butt. Whenever I played Zale, I felt confident and sure of myself, and, you know, just a little bit more kick butt than usual. Yes, even when she was getting her butt kicked, it was more about the feeling of her and how it felt when I played her. And of course, Zale holds so many good memories from when I was on these teams and doing this show. The one way you could really tell the difference between me and Zale were the 3 braids that she wore on the side of her head. And then I realized, why not do that for myself all the time? Granted, having 3 braids in my hair doesn't exactly equate breaking gender norms in day-to-day life, but it was a step in the direction that I wanted to take to show who I was. For Maty Baiyenda, they wanted to wear makeup to express who they were on the inside to everybody on the outside. For me, this is my expression of how I see myself and how I want to be on the outside as well. But it only really happened because I took that step in my art before I took it in real life. And granted, not everything that you do in your art you're going to bring into real life, and sometimes you express art that you don't even want to be a part of you, or a part of you that you want to leave behind, and that's okay. But, as I said before, this week is all about discovering what you would do and how you would express yourself if you weren't afraid of what everybody thought. So, we're gonna do Pic Crews. Pic Crew is an avatar making website. You can't necessarily say that these are your pieces of art, but they do help you to explore some of the different ways that you can present yourself. Now, obviously, there are things like body type and skin color that you can't really change in reality, unless you want to make yourself gray, of course. Things like skin color, body type, and nose size, I typically try to keep the same on myself, but everything else is kind of free game. Mind you, I don't have the kind of hair for some of these hairstyles, but, you know, there are always wigs. And remember, you can always change the colors by clicking that little paintbrush over there. And sometimes there are even different styles depending on what color you choose. And remember, no matter how much thought you've put into these aren't your art. You can see the watermark of the person who created this pickeroo right up here in the top. But that doesn't mean that you can't get ideas from it for your own art, or just to try out some different looks and see how you would express yourself if you didn't have any rules. And here is mine. Click the complete button and ta-da! Once you're done with the pickeroo, make sure to submit a copy to the submission form for this week. Make sure to submit a copy. But once you do, I have a discussion board for you to post them on so that you can show everybody what your cool pickeroo looks like. Depending on which one you do, it might look a little different than what is actually possible, like devil horns or like wings on the back and things like that, but what's art for but to imagine and to dream? After you've done your pickeroo, you can choose to make your own based off of the pickeroo that you made. Make your own style of art, make an avatar of yourself for you to show off. Have fun with it. See what you come up with that the artist of the pickeroo didn't. And I have a new option for you now. If you don't want to create art this week, you have the option of being an art curator with a worksheet that I have also in Schoology. Whichever you choose to do, I hope that you take a moment to think about how you want to present yourself and how your art can help you to express that. All right, off you pop. Have fun and stay curious. I kind of ask myself, do I look like an anime character? The answer is yes. I